Hey there, baseball fans. Nathan Rohde and Shooter Hunt here with the latest episode of Coffee and Curveballs. Shooter, we've got our final installment of our look at the 2020 recruiting classes. So today we're looking at non-power fives, known as mid-majors to a lot, but they really are
Power majors. This is my favorite episode to do each year. Love the power major teams. We're talking Coastal Carolina national champions, Fresno State national championships. You got Fullerton national, all sorts of national championships coming out of the power majors. So let's see who's got some good 2020 classes.
excellent. Yeah, we'll take a look at some schools from non-power five conferences that stand out and see what kind of noise they can make the next few years. But starting us off, we've got Charlotte with the 49ers. Got a new head coach in Robert Woodard there and a new recruiting coordinator in Toby Bicknell. They obviously, with a change in staff, sometimes we see some turnover with recruiting. They are, staying on the path, and they've got a good class coming in, obviously. Right-hander Gus Hughes, chance to be a power arm with feel for spin coming in for that staff. And then shortstop Chandler Riley, who we saw at the NPI. Left-handed stick, can really swing it, chance to stay on the infield. That's a pretty good start for the 49ers.
Especially you got a guy who could be a potential Friday night guy over time in Gus Hughes. But then Chandler Riley, one of my favorite guys from the Future Games a couple years ago, left-handed bat. I think he's going to grow into more strength while on campus, be a star there in CUSA. They also picked up Lou James Groover out of Georgia. Real upside physicality with power potential, 6'2", 190, had a huge fall down at Lake Point for us. And then Tyra Cotton, a nice catching prospect. There's some pull-side power, sub-2 pop times. But guys like Woodard and obviously Toby Bicknell are going to get after in the recruiting trail. So great first class for the Niners.
Yeah, it certainly is. So moving on now, sticking within the state of North Carolina. The reason we say power majors instead of mid-majors is because of programs like the East Carolina Pirates. You put them in the ACC and the SEC, and they're going to be in the thick of it every year with the recruiting and just the level of competition that they play. So it's no surprise that we're talking about them for a second straight year. This is a deep class, 10 guys in the top 500. A little bit of draft risk, obviously. The top guy being Cohen Moreno. He's at Panther Creek High School in North Carolina, right down the street from me. I'm definitely going to be getting some looks in. It's an athletic right-hander. He throws strikes. There's some upside there. I've seen him up to like 93, I think. Some feel for secondary. A lot of projection with him. So we'll see how the spring plays out. I'm sure East Carolina will sweat it out a little bit, but with him and the rest of the depth in this class, things are definitely looking good for the Pirates.
Yeah, I think ECU is the epitome of a power major right now. Josh Moylan out of Maryland, big power bat, left-handed stick, ball flies out there in Greenville. If you haven't been, one of the best college baseball atmospheres in the country. Love the way Moylan swings the bat, so they got to get him on campus. Huge in the middle of the order. Rob Reddy, a South Jersey kid, frontline stuff. The changeup plays, slider, low to mid 90s fastball by the time things are all said and done. Big physical frame. There'll definitely be some scouts watching him throughout the spring. But even further on, you go down, Jacob Starling, they went down to the state of Florida to get a big shortstop there. Love the way he plays the game, can really pick it, stick it short, top of the order type guy.
Yeah, he certainly is. I'm also a big fan of Austin St. Laurent. He's a legit two-way guy, really good athlete from Western Alamance High School in North Carolina. Obviously, East Carolina really digging into that home state with the talent pool that we have here in North Carolina. So definitely a two-way option in St. Laurent. But my favorite guy in this class, and who I think really is a linchpin in that if they get him on campus, it's big time for the Pirates, is Trey Truitt. Left-handed hitting outfielder. Moves pretty well for a guy his size. When it's all said and done, probably plays a corner outfield spot, but it's real power. He can hit to all fields. He was huge at the NPI for that five-star squad we saw. So big-time left-handed bat coming in for the Pirates that could really do some damage. So we look forward to seeing how all that plays out.
Absolutely. Hey, the American Conference, that's essentially a Power 5 conference. So good for ECU getting after it.
Yeah, certainly. So heading over to the Ivy League now, we've got the Harvard Crimson. One of their top recruits is shortstop Jake Berger, who we saw at the area code game Shooter. And obviously when we're at area code games, we're looking at a lot of draft talent. And even the guys that might not necessarily be high draft picks, we're like, looking at their sheet and it's like, all right, Power 5 team here, Power 5 team there. We saw Jake Berger with his 6'4", 180 long skinny frame projection. We looked down, it's like, oh man, this guy's going to Harvard. Good for him.
Oh, yeah.
Really
the
good for
ball,
Harvard. Saw like huge hard contact out of him all week there.
yeah, the ball screaming off his bat. I was a big fan of his while there in SoCal. But like you said, usually you're talking about Stanfords and Vanderbilts and Dukes, the private schools that's hard for guys to sign and they get to school. You look at Harvard, this kid's getting a lot of buzz professionally right now because of the way he handles the bat from the left side. So they may struggle to get him, although it is Harvard. So you'd think that he'll probably get to campus. But even beyond him, Chris Snopek, kid out of Mississippi, projectable infielder with some upside from the right side with the bat. Uday Naradam from NorCal. This is real pitchability. Love the way he spins it. He's a competitor. I think the velo is going to jump while on campus. Love what he's going to bring to the team. And then Jay Driver, a New England kid, upper 80s right now. I'd expect him to settle in that 88 to 92 frame. Right-handed pitcher, tough New England kid who's going to attack hitters there in the Ivy League. So great class for Harvard. And got to be some smart kids to be going there too.
You think? I love that name, Uday Naradam. That's a great baseball name right there. So I hope we'll be seeing that one for years to come. But heading to my home state in Virginia with the Old Dominion Monarchs, who have produced guys like Justin Verlander, Daniel Hudson, a couple of pretty good big leaguers there. Maybe we've got another few on the way, but Kenny Lavari is a two-way option for them out of St. Augustine, who they just keep pumping out arms, don't they, Shooter? He's got an athletic frame, depth on his curveball. We saw him 89-91 at area code games, but there's no reason to think that there isn't more in there.
Oh, I think there's much more in there. It's an athletic kid, two-way potential. Like him as an infielder as well. Can swing the bat a little bit, but that upside at the mound is going to be probably too real to pass up, as he could be a weekend guy even from day one. And Rody, I know you love Luke Vax as well.
Yeah, right-hander, another New Jersey kid, 87-91 at area code games with some arm side run. Not the big projectable frame that you see, on the mound a lot, but obviously some pretty good stuff out of him. But then we also have Carter Trice, out of Virginia. Look at the numbers that he's putting up in terms of measurables. 94 across the infield, 97 mile an hour exit velo, running a 4.12 down the line, 6 foot, 185-pound athletic frame. So I'm sure the Monarchs are pretty excited about getting a middle of the diamond type guy like that.
Absolutely. And then a sneaky sleeper, another Jersey kid, left-handed pitcher, Jacob Gomez. Not the tallest guy, but can really spin it, pounds the zone, and is definitely not scared when attacking hitters. So I think they'll be able to call on him in a variety of roles. And over the time, he could blossom into a starter down there in Virginia Beach.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Let's head out to the West Coast now. The Aztecs of San Diego State. Strong class for them, as they've got three guys in the top 500, plus a few more that could find their way in before it's all said and done. Top guy I'm a big fan of, Cole Carrig. He's at Turlock High School up in NorCal. He's a catcher. Mm-hmm. If that sounds familiar, it's the same high school as Tyler Soderstrom. So he is going to be sharing some time behind the plate with Soderstrom. I think they're going to basically alternate between playing catcher and third base. Both of them can handle both positions. Carrig is a switch hitter. I liked him a little better from the left side, but there's no reason to think, give him a chance to do both down the line, just take some work. But it's a really strong arm with accuracy behind the plate. So I really like Cole Carrig, and I'm sure San Diego State's going to sweat that one out a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. And they always are with all those talented players out there in California. But they also went into Texas. A kid that I really like, Elijah Rodriguez, outfielder, can pitch a little bit, but he's just a grinder. Gets after it on the diamond, plays hard all the time. Love the upside there. Ricky Tiedemann, a California kid. We saw area codes. I mean, if things click, this is Friday night lights out stuff. Strikes can come and go, but real feel for spin. I think he'll get into the low, maybe even creep up in the mid-90s there in his time on campus, although scouts will definitely be watching him. And then another NorCal kid, Tino Betancourt. I think he'll stick on the left side of the diamond. It's a physical frame. There's some power projection there. I think he gets to campus and over time grows in the middle of that order.
Mm-hmm, certainly so. One more California kid out of East Lake, way down by the border. Kai Satterstrom, out of East Lake High School. Really twitchy athlete. He's got good actions defensively. It's a strong, accurate arm. And then he's got quick hands and strong wrists at the plate that really give him some sneaky pop. So another California kid to look at for the Aztecs. But our last squad to look at now on Coffee and Curveballs for the Power Majors is the Bobcats of Texas State, Shooter.
Yeah, Texas State's been doing a great job there in the state of Texas. And obviously, it's talent-rich state, and they were able to bring in some big-time dudes. Logan Ham at the top, he's a left-handed hitting outfielder. It's a 6'7" runner, big power, and he's also up to 90 on the mound. So two-way potential. He's the guy that you like to build your program around. He's going to give them a huge boost in the middle of the order, provide some depth on the mound. It's really exciting to have him on campus. And then you couple that with another two-way potential guy in Carson Keithley, who we saw the future games a couple of years ago. Real spin, a real feel for spin from the left side. I love the way the arm works. I think his velo is going to have a real jump once he gets to school and fills out. And he also swings it well. He's a good athlete. Rhett McCafferty, kid that I saw last year in Houston, just real aggressive on the diamond, like plays with a chip on his shoulder, gets after it. Left-handed pitcher, going to attack the zone, pitchability guy, but can also swing it from the left side with some power potential. And then Cade Manning, another left-handed hitter with some power potential. Really good group, but at the top, Ham and Keithley, real guys to be excited about for Texas State.
There you go. So there you have it, a look at some power majors and their recruiting classes for 2020. Stay tuned for a podcast. We'll talk about these teams as well as several others that stood out to us. And go into more depth on that, so you can find that on prepbaseballreport.com. But as always, for Shooter Hunt, I'm Nathan Rohde. This was Coffee and Curveballs, and until next time, we'll see you guys at the ballpark.